Hello, everyone, and good evening to all of you, and welcome to the YouTube live session. And in the last session of ours, we had a very in detail analysis of budget. I mean, what can be the budget expectations and which sectors can go up, right? And what do we have going forward? And we also tried to, in fact, take few queries as well, and we answer to those, in fact. So, and today, friends, what I'm trying to say is that what importantly we have is in today's YouTube live session is trading on the right side before the union budget. Trading on the right side, right? And which side, whether bullish or bearish, that is important, okay? Or whether it's going to go sideways. What I feel is the overall trend in the market still appears to be bullish. Yes, and I am sure that all those, who have been, continuously following our YouTube live sessions, since almost 2 months or so, I guess, right? Know that we have been bullish since almost like we started 13,000 at approximately around 13,000 levels is when we started this YouTube live session, and since then, we have been maintaining a bias positive for the short to medium term trend, and all of those targets of ours have been met. And we still have a pending target of 14,800 on the upside on Nifty. Eventually, friends, what I think is on the downside, last time also I had mentioned that 14,050 to 14,100 is a very, very crucial support, for the Nifty. Until those levels are held, we would see Nifty, in fact, performing quite well. And still, I would say that 14,050 to 14,100 is the medium term support levels. And it is the medium term reversal. For the short term, however, I would say that Nifty had actually fallen by almost, intraday basis, if I say, then, almost 200 points yesterday and 150 points on a closing basis approximately. However, if we see swing to swing, right, and 14,200 levels approximately will be a very crucial support for the short term, 14,200, right? And that's as far as Nifty is concerned. For Bank Nifty, 31,500 for the short term and 31,000 for the medium term. Rather, I would say that 31,500 is going to be a very, very key support level going forward for the Bank Nifty. In fact, we have been saying that this level is very crucial. Until those levels are held, the overall trend will be positive. We have seen some shift happening from private sector banks to PSU banks. Now, in my last few YouTube live sessions, I have been saying that there can be some sectoral change or shift, or maybe churning within the sector also, wherein we can see some shift happening from the private sector banks to the PSU banks, because Nifty PSU bank index is looking positive, and that has happened so as well as anticipated, right? So what I mean to say is that the overall correction or consolidation which had to happen has happened now, and again the trend looks to be positive. Going forward on the Bank Nifty, I would say till 31,500 levels on a closing basis ahead, we can see 33,000 levels as well going forward. That's our view. Auto has been one of the sector, I would say, and we all know that Tata Motors have performed quite well. Maruti, in fact, Ashok Leyland, Eicher Motors, Bajaj Auto. See, all of those stocks have performed. In fact, the auto ancillaries have also done quite well. So that was our view, and the results, IT stocks have been performing quite well. The guidance, the outlook overall for the IT sector is absolutely positive, and we still feel, see, the best thing, what's happening in the IT is that, the question mark is whether the IT sector will grow over a long-term period. And I think yes. In fact, because of this COVID situation, what has happened, friends, is that what had to happen in next 10 years is happening now in this 1-2 years. Whatever plan people had for next 10 years, that we will digitalize, we will do this in IT, we will automate these things, and this is how we are going to actually grow digitally, automatic, based on developing few algorithms and everything. Now those all plans, IT sector is getting, in fact, a lot of orders, because those plans people are implementing now itself. That's let's grow now, and I think because of which the overall momentum in IT will continue over a longer term period. Okay. Now, as far as short term trend, if you ask me about the IT, then there can be some profit booking. Always, that's okay. But this short term profit booking should be utilized as a buying opportunity always, because overall trend for the IT for the long term is positive. Pharma is positive. I've been saying since April 20 that, and this was the first sector wherein I said, when there was a reversal in March, and I said, uh, I had actually put my foot down and said that, now this is the sector which is going to be the sector which is going to perform next for next 3, 4, 5 years, because it had actually gone into that bear market from 2015 until 20 start, right? So those were 4 to 5 years wherein we saw Nifty Pharma underperforming the Nifty or overall, I would say, broader markets. And now, since the trend has reversed, it will continue for next 3, 4, 5 years. In fact, there's lots and lots of room left on the upside for majority of the stocks. So I think prior to budget, the stocks or the sectors wherein one can focus is one is pharma and second would be auto. And the trend prior to budget as of now, whether to be on the right side. So being on the right side, it should be whether to be bullish or bearish. I would say continue to be bullish till we don't have enough of evidence that the trend has reversed. Okay, until the budget actually is not out, saying that the budget is not going to be good. I think that would be quite an early call. We should wait if there is some positive surprise, and I'm quite hopeful from this budget, because our honorable finance minister has said that it's going to be one of the best in 100 years. Now, when she has said that it's going to be best in one of the 100 years, in past 10 decades or 100 years, then we got to trust our honorable finance minister, and there can be some positive surprise. I mean, she's saying that with this kind of an authority means there is a possibility that something good for the economy and markets is coming, right? We got to believe that. If it disappoints, then definitely we can reverse our positions. We can, change our bias from up to down. We can do that later, right? But as of now, I don't see any such reason fundamentally to, stay away from the markets. Flows have been good. In fact, yesterday too, in this falling market, the FII flows were positive, right? So fundamentally, things are positive. Prior to budget, I would say continue to be bullish. Yes, you can be cautiously bullish always. At these kind of elevated levels, whether budget is there as an event going forward or not, one has to be cautiously bullish, because we have seen this kind of an expansion in markets, and markets have actually moved higher in a unidirectional way. So from 7,500 to almost 15,000, almost, right? So almost double. So obviously at these kind of elevated levels, anyone would be staying cautiously bullish. Okay, but when you have this kind of an event, I think staying bullish is good, because we might get some good positive triggers out of it. The sectors which one can be positive is, one is pharma for sure. Why pharma? Because the overall cycle has changed, and I don't see anything negative coming from the budget for the pharma. Right, that is one thing. So it's a neutral sector, you can say, or immune from the budget. Right. Second would be IT. Of course, you can, for the long term, I'm saying you can continue to be bullish. For the short term, you can stay cautiously bullish. And IT again is immune from the budget, so you can stay bullish out here. I mean, it's not much of impact is going to happen from here. Even if dollar moves higher from here, even if dollar index rebounds from here on, if we see some profit booking coming in markets, we will see rupee depreciating, and that again is going to be helping or favoring the export oriented sectors, and IT is one of them. So either budget mein kuch nahi aata hai, or maybe dollar going to rebound. It is not going to impact negatively on the IT sector. So this is one sector you can be into long side. Third sector is one wherein we are hopeful. Now here is the auto sector which we've been seeing. So you can be bullish out here. I mean, today was the result of CA Tires as well, and I've been saying this since past 1 month. Okay, that auto is looking good, and auto NCDs are looking good, and we have seen the numbers of auto companies really coming positive, and in fact, auto ancillaries are also expected to do or perform better behind the auto sector major. Right. So the thing is, CA Tires results were absolutely fantastic when it came in today during the market as in fact, and we did see some good sales growth out there, improvement in some margins as well. So I think that this is one sector. This is going to be the third sector wherein one can be bullish. Okay, and stock specifically, if I say that those stocks like Maruti, Eicher Motor, Bajaj Auto, Ashok Leyland, Tata Motors. These are the stocks which are really looking good. You know, and if you ask me from the auto ancillaries, then I would say I'm not sure much about the batteries. I mean, whether it is Amaraja battery or maybe excited because of all of this, Tesla event or maybe like EVs going forward. But then I'm sure that tire stocks are going to do good because either it is EVs or CVs or PVs, whichever vehicle you have, you require a tire, right? And if the sector overall is going to grow, sector is going to grow, then this is likely to grow. Second reason is this scrappage policy, because of which there can be good amount of auto sales number, which can be improvement in auto sales. And if there is improvement in the auto sales, then we are going to see again the demand coming in the tire stocks. Third reason is the crude oil prices. I do not see much uptake in crude oil prices, or my forecast for next 1 to 3 years going forward for the crude is not much more bullish. I would say it might remain sideways or negative. So if the crude is not going to go or is not going to be bullish for next 3 4 years, being one of the raw material, I would say rubber, which is impacted by the crude oil prices, those prices are not going to go up. Hence, the raw material cost for this tire stocks are not going to go up, which will definitely help these companies to maintain their margin or maybe grow, right? So these are the reasons why I'm bullish on auto and auto ancillaries. One is the scrappage policy for sure, and the improvement in the economy. And second is the raw material prices, which are going to be almost stagnant or maybe you can dip as well. These are the reasons, friends. We are very bullish on auto. So three sectors I've told you enough of stocks from the auto sector. Pharma, if you ask me, then there are a couple of stocks which I personally like. I mean, today also we know that the big bull Rakesh Jhunjhunwala has increased the stake in Lupin. This is one stock which has not performed quite well, but it is expected to perform from here on. I mean, Lupin is one stock, Sun Pharma is second, which has underperformed the Nifty Pharma index itself, and its peers. But these companies are the large cap, and the overall product mix is quite good. The reach in the global markets is quite good. Hence, I believe that these stocks the stocks which have done good and are likely to continue to do good going forward are Divis and Dr. Reddy's, maybe Cadila and Cipla as well. So these are the four stocks which have done good among the large caps, and they will continue to do so. So we don't ignore that. My saying is that if you want to generate an alpha, over a Nifty Pharma index from here on, then I think Lupin, Sun Pharma, these are the stocks which one can add to their bucket, and maybe it will help to basically maximize the returns. So these are the few stocks from pharma and few stocks from IT. I would say that one can continue to be bullish on the Tata Elxsi. Okay, the results are really good, and this is also one stocks which focuses quite a lot on the auto sector, automation and designing and everything. And if auto industry itself is likely to grow, then definitely it is going to help the Tata Elxsi, which is doing quite a lot or has good amount of auto companies in its portfolio, or kind of profile which they have. So that is one stock which one can continue to be bullish on. Infosys is the second large cap IT stock which we are bullish on. Reason being is they have a lot of cash on their balance sheet, right, which they might utilize either for the buyback or maybe takeover, right? So these are the few reasons. So one large cap is Infosys, and second is Tata Elxsi. These are the two stocks. The paint companies also likely to do good from here on if the economy revives, if we are going to see good amount of increase in demand in the real estate, whether it is residential or commercial. Okay, the paint companies are likely to do good. Okay. Second reason why I'm bullish is that one of the stock which is the MNC stock Kansai Nerolac. So Kansai Nerolac is bullish because it also is quite a lot. It has auto companies in its portfolio, and the manufacturing those paints which are used in vehicles. So this is one of the reasons why we are bullish on Kansai Nerolac, and I think it is likely to perform. So see, anything related to auto, you need to now really join the links that related to auto. If auto is likely to grow, then which other sectors it can impact and wherein we can see the growth. That's how we do research, and that's how we can make it out there where all we can see the growth, either it is in sectors or the stocks, right, friends? I again would like to repeat a few levels, and that's 14,050 to 14,100 on Nifty. Okay, till those levels are held, continue to be bullish. 14,800 is the target. Short term 14,200 is the reversal level. If that breaks, exit from the short term longs. Bank Nifty 32,000 important on a short term basis, 31,500 on a medium term basis. These two levels, keep in mind, till those levels are held, you can continue to see these Bank Nifty going performing quite well from here on. Target would be 33,000 on the upside. Failing to do so, we may see a reversal. One thing I would say why I'm saying be cautiously bullish on markets is the momentum indicators on the daily charts, both on Nifty and the Bank Nifty, have turned negative with a negative divergence. I would say they've provided a sell crossover with a negative divergence, and this is the first negative divergence. It's not necessary that in the first negative divergence the markets will crack. Sometimes it takes 2 or 3 negative divergences as well, and that is the point where market will fall drastically or sharply. So there is a negative divergence trends in the market. Hence, be bullish but cautiously bullish. But there is no such clear indication of a reversal until we don't see a breakdown from these levels. That's all from my side from this today's YouTube live sessions. We have few queries as well. The Indian hotel. So let me just take up this query. Bharat Mishra. I would like to extend this. Today's session. So Indian hotel, Bharat. I would say, let's see. Overall, I think that the way the economy is opening up. Fundamentally, first let me tell you the way the economy is opening up, and if the vaccination process basically accelerates, then definitely this is one sector which is quite a lot beaten down. Tourism, hotel. This industry is likely to grow. Quite a lot is already priced in, I would say. But then short term, I think that it can consolidate within the range of say 110 on the downside to maybe 130, 35 on the upside. When this consolidation is over, we will see again the stock moving higher only. The targets for the medium term would be somewhere around 165. Right, Bharat? Let me see if there is another Indigo, Polycab. Polycab is absolutely good stock to keep in the portfolio. I would say it's a market leader within that sector. Okay, so KEI is doing good, Polycab is doing good, Finolex Cables is doing good. Among that entire sector, Polycab is the leader. You can definitely have that in your portfolio, right? HDFC Bank's results, Sagar, were really good, beaten the street estimate, and I think that they would continue to perform from here on as well. So you can continue to have that stock in your portfolio. Indigo. See, overall, I would say that Indigo charts, if I have to look, because fundamentally, I think that since the economy is likely to open up, we would see these all stocks getting back into the momentum. Technically, if I have to say, then Indigo has formed a kind of a double top pattern, and the resistance is somewhere around 1750, 1800 zone. So till we don't see a clear close about 1750 to 1800 on a weekly basis, I would say do not have a fresh long in it. If you already have a long position, then there can be some stop loss placed near the recent swing low of 1550, right? And let me just take now the last. Finolex Cables is good. There's a query from my company only, from some of the employee, I think, or some of the client. I see, but then yes, the Finolex Cables we already recommend. I think that is good because we already recommended Finolex Industries as a disclaimer. I would like to say as a Diwali pick. In our technical Diwali picks, Finolex Industries is one stock. In Polycab, we had recommended fundamentally, in a Diwali pick, right? Last query I'm taking, friends, for today. Okay, and definitely next time going forward we'll take up more queries. So last query is on Dilip Buildcon, and that's from Mr. Shubham Sharma, DBL. See, friend, Dilip Buildcon has provided a breakout from an inverse head and shoulders pattern, which is a bullish reversal pattern. I've also seen a golden cross in this particular stock. Hence, I would say that on the lower side, till 390 levels are held, you can see upside in this. There can be some target of around say 500 to 515 Dilip Buildcon DBL. The indicators are also bullish. So I would say that overall chart structure is quite bullish. Fundamentally, we do not have this stock in a coverage list, so I would not be able to comment. That's all from my side, friends. Thank you so much, and keep watching the YouTube live session because we have many such sessions ahead of budget, what to do pre-budget, and definitely post-budget as well. That is, what is the impact of budget and what are the positives and negatives of it, right, friends? So keep joining our YouTube live sessions every Tuesday. Thank you so much. Take care.